Give it up, make some noise, please. I've been looking for you, John. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Michael Coulombe. I was the director.
Make some noise.
My name is Kurtkan. I was the writer and producer.
Fantastic job. It's really good to have you guys here. Tell me, how did this whole project start with this right here?
And you get to start with this guy right here.
All right.
Everything starts with this guy right here. Well, ultimately, I wrote the story, and it's been sitting on my shelf for a while now, and I met Michael at an internship at a production company in nearby Sherman Oaks, and he's script supervising for like a big production film, and we just got along really well, and we had similar interests in film, and we put this into play, and the whole entire summer I was actually in Europe, and we were just communicating back and forth on, over the phone, Skype, and we made it happen. It wasn't easy though.
I was just going to go to that, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. With going back and forth through emails and Skyping, how difficult or how easy was that, as opposed to having your partner right there with you as you're like, okay, the shot should be like this, let's do it like that. How was that?
Wow. I mean, it's not as easy as you think. My writing partner lives up in San Francisco, and we had written a script together, so I kind of understood the process of like using email and the new way of communicating. But he lives in Orange County, so he's not too far. But when he pitched this project to me, I said, "Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it." He goes, "Good. I'm leaving for 2 months, so have fun."
See ya.
I was like,
Good luck.
But it was great because he was traveling abroad, and we spent many. Yeah, the pre-production was done. But we spent, I don't know, he was like midnight where he was at, noon where I was at, and I was just getting up, he was just going to bed.
Oh man, the schedule.
Well, it was great, like just trying to figure out what we had to do. We contacted SAG, we just put things in motion, and we did that for 2 months to kind of give us some room to kind of like do the project. And then when he got back, we were just like, that was it, we got to do it.
Okay. I want to go to you with this next question I want to ask. Were there any difficulties with shooting outside at night, the way that you guys did it?
Everything.
That was probably the biggest challenge on the project. We actually shot it raw on 4K digital, and our cinematographer, Brandon Musselman, he's not here, but we had a very specific look that we were going for, that we were inspired by, like film noir. We wanted to make like a modern day film noir film, and he's a very talented. I mean, he's a grip by trade in the industry in big budgets, but he's also a very talented cinematographer, and yeah. I mean, I did see that it's a little bit darker when screened, but we were trying to get our main protagonist's face like in the dark.
Yeah.
The other. So we were, there was things that we were going for, but we didn't, we could have color corrected a little bit better, but for the most part, that's the way it is right now.
That's the way it is, and then the next one will be better, and so on. It just keeps going.
Of course.
But you put it out there. That's the thing.
Yeah, most definitely.
Indeed. I want to go to you for just a second. I want to talk about the actors. The two gentlemen in the car, and then our mystery guy was on the walkie-talkie. Let's start with the two gentlemen in the car.
Well, we cast here in LA, and it was interesting because we both had different ideas of how we want them to be, which was, it's great because the best part is we could have opinions about what somebody wanted to do. What's great is about the young guy, Kyler, the second he walked in, I kind of knew that's what I was going for. And so my job was to convince him. And then we both just liked Paul. Paul was fantastic. Because he's older, he's a veteran, he just brought so much to the table. So we knew right away he was the one.
Yeah, he seemed like he was very comfortable in his role. They both seemed like they were comfortable in their roles, but he seemed like he had...
Kyler's still fairly young and new, and it's great because he showed up on set, he knew his lines. He's fantastic. I would work with any of these people again in a second, which leads me to the next thing, the guy on the walkie-talkie. I used him in my first film, Axe. He came to audition, and the second he walked in, I mean, he's phenomenal. So we were going back and forth about how he wanted a really good bad guy that you would believe would really...
Looking for you, John.
...fuck up people's lives. And so we auditioned people, and he's just like, I don't know, like, I have this particular thing in mind about this particular bad guy, and I had, like, about 2 that I would consider. And then I said, hey, look, I used this one guy in my last movie, X, and I thought he was really good. Let me just call him up and see what he has to do. And I said, hey, Todd, can you just read these lines for me real quick? I gotta send them to the producer. We gotta find this guy. The next day, it's in my inbox, and I was like, holy shit, this guy. So I said, hey, Kenny, what do you think? And he's like, I think we found our guy. So then we literally just went in about, I think, a month or so later, we just, literally, I was in the middle of like a feature, and on one night, we shot this in one night, by the way. Just so
Wow, one night. Make some noise for that.
Oh, wow.
One really long night. By the end of the night, it was like cold, it was foggy.
Wow.
That was a cold night, I remember that.
It was definitely a different experience. You know, we had a lot of very talented people working in a very short duration of time, and there's a lot of productivity in 14 hours. So we made that happen, and you know, I'm just thankful and grateful that I met someone like Michael. That is, you know, he's a huge network. So I'm grateful, man. Thank you.
Wow.
Well, just to reiterate on what everybody else has said, I mean, it's not just about doing it, it's about doing it and have fun, because one of the best things I do is I make movies for a living. I used to work in an office, and one day I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta do something different. And I walked
Just do it.
I did it, and I called up my friend, and I was like, I just quit my job. What am I gonna do? And he's like, you wanna help me make this movie? Do it.
You just jump right in. There you go.
Yeah, and I've been doing it for 8 years, and I've had the best, literally the best time of my life. And I'm telling you, every time you do it, you get better. And this is the first time I've seen this movie on the big screen, and this is overwhelming. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask, my last question was going to ask is, you know, how does it feel, you know, to see the project on the big screen?
Well, I want to ask Kenny, it's his first film, so.
I screened this previously at another film festival in Santa Ana, so I had kind of like good understanding what it would look like. I mean, we're over here at the Chinese Man Theater. I can't, who am I kidding? Like, I'm just a big baby.
There you go,
Well, guys, we thank you so much for bringing this film to us. We really appreciate it. Are you guys going to stick around in the lounge with us?
Actually, I'm on a feature right now, and
Okay.
once this is done, I have to run back to set.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. I wanted to be here so bad to support this film, but I have
You're
to.
here now, so it's
Yeah.
on, and we appreciate it.
But it's an honor to be here with all of you guys, and I want to thank everybody who showed up to support this film, and John, who worked on it, he was fantastic.
Hey, John.
And everybody else up there in the audience, so thank you so much for coming. You guys are amazing.
Thank you so much for being here. Continued success to the both of you. Let's give it up for them one more time, please.